Have you ever heard of the construction worker who jumped onto a 15-centimeter nail? It went straight through his boot. The pain was so intense that paramedics had to sedate him with fentanyl and midazolam, two of the most powerful painkillers in medicine, just to get the nail out. But when doctors finally removed his boot, they discovered something impossible. The nail had passed cleanly between his toes. His brain had created real, agonizing pain from absolutely nothing. And here's the terrifying part. If your mind can generate pain that powerful from a simple belief, what else can it do? Welcome to the placebo effect, the most studied phenomenon in medical history. And yet, scientists still have no idea how it really works. This isn't just about positive thinking or mind over matter. This is about your brain rewriting your body's biology using nothing but expectation. And the deeper we look, the more disturbing it becomes. A placebo is supposed to be completely inert. Think of a sugar pill, a saline injection, or a fake treatment that does absolutely nothing. But here's the problem. Placebos work. They work so well that they're actually destroying modern drug trials. An analysis of 84 clinical trials for pain medications since 1996 found something shocking. While the actual drugs performed about the same over the years, the placebo responses had been getting dramatically stronger. In some studies, up to 1 in 3 patients report significant pain relief from just sugar pills. And these aren't people just imagining they feel better. Brain scans show real, biological changes happening inside their bodies. In one Harvard study on irritable bowel syndrome, a woman named Linda Bonanno had suffered for years, sometimes unable to leave her house for weeks. Doctors enrolled her in a trial where they gave her pills and told her explicitly, quote, "These are placebo pills made of an inert substance, like sugar pills." They didn't lie to her. She knew it was fake, and it worked anyway. How is that possible? How can your brain heal your body when it knows the treatment is a sham? Scientists call these open-label placebos, and they've been shown to work for depression, back pain, ADHD, and chronic pain. Your subconscious expectations are so powerful that they can override what your conscious mind knows to be true. But if placebos can heal you, they can also destroy you. And that's where the nocebo effect comes in. This is when negative expectations cause real, physical harm, and it's actually stronger than the placebo effect. Remember that construction worker with the nail? It was a nocebo effect. His belief that he was severely injured created genuine. For evolutionary reasons, our brains are wired to prioritize danger over reward, which means nocebo effects are larger and more powerful. Here's another case that'll haunt you. In clinical trials, patients who receive placebos but are warned about potential side effects often develop those exact side effects: nausea, headaches, fatigue, dizziness, all from sugar pills, just because they were told it might happen. Your expectation of harm becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy written directly into your biology. In some cancer treatment studies, patients in the placebo group who believed they were getting chemotherapy actually lost their hair and experienced severe nausea, even though they were only receiving saline injections. Their minds were so convinced of the treatment that their bodies manifested the side effects. Think about what that means. Your brain has the power to make you sick, to create symptoms, and to cause physical damage to your body based purely on what you believe is happening. So, how does any of this work? Scientists have been trying to figure this out for decades, and what they've discovered is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. When you take a placebo that you believe will reduce pain, your brain releases its own natural opioids, the same chemicals that morphine mimics. Brain scans show increased activity in regions associated with pain relief. Your endorphins surge, your dopamine levels spike, and real, measurable biological changes occur throughout your nervous system. In 2009, researchers even proved that the placebo effect involves your spinal cord. The pain signals traveling up your spine are physically blocked before they can even reach your brain. This isn't imagination. This is your central nervous system changing its function based on expectation. But here's where it gets really weird. Studies on Parkinson's disease patients showed that when they received a placebo they believed was medication, their brains released dopamine in the exact same regions that the actual drug would target. Their brains perfectly mimicked the pharmaceutical effect, right down to the neurochemical level, with nothing but sugar water. And a more recent study in 2020 took this even further. Researchers at MRT created a placebo effect in mice with chronic pain. They condition the mice to associate a specific environment with pain relief. Eventually, the mice experience pain relief just by being in that environment, even with no active treatment. But here's the kicker. When scientists checked their brains, the pain-suppressing neurons weren't even activating anymore. The placebo effect was working through a completely unknown mechanism that science hasn't identified yet. Remember how I said placebo responses are increasing over time? That's not a coincidence, and the explanation is disturbing. The bigger and more elaborate clinical trials become, the more powerful the placebo effect gets. When patients are surrounded by cutting-edge medical equipment, examined by specialists in white coats, given exotic-looking pills, and told they're part of groundbreaking research, their expectations skyrocket. The ritual of medicine itself becomes part of the healing. Pharmaceutical companies' advertising has made this even worse. When you see ads showing people living their best lives after taking a new medication, your brain builds massive expectations around what that pill can do for you. So even if you get the placebo in a trial, your expectations are so high that your brain tries to deliver those results anyway. But here's the truly unsettling part. In pain medication trials specifically, placebos are now so effective that many legitimate drugs can't beat them. New pain medications that should work are failing FDA approval not because they don't work, but because placebos work too well. We're reaching a point where our belief in medicine is becoming more powerful than medicine itself. Some researchers think this explains why alternative medicine seems to work for so many people. Acupuncture, homeopathy, crystal healing, it doesn't matter if the treatment has zero scientific basis. If the ritual is elaborate enough, if the practitioner is confident enough, and if your expectations are high enough, your brain will generate real, measurable improvements in your condition. This all raises a philosophical problem that keeps neuroscientists awake at night. If your brain can create pain, heal disease, release neurotransmitters, and change your biology based purely on expectation, what does that say about the nature of consciousness? Your conscious mind is just one layer. Beneath that, your subconscious is constantly running programs, making predictions, and physically altering your body to match those predictions. You're not in control in the way you think you are. For example, patients with Alzheimer's disease show dramatically reduced placebo effects. They need higher doses of pain medication because they've forgotten that medicine worked for them before. Without memory, without expectation, placebos stop working, and even real drugs become less effective. And here's the part that science truly can't explain. Some patients have genetic variations in their dopamine, opioid, and serotonin systems that make them more or less responsive to placebos. You might be genetically predisposed to heal yourself with belief, or you might be someone for whom placebos barely work at all. Your DNA itself could determine how much power your mind has over your body. The placebo effect is the most studied phenomenon in medical history, and we still don't understand it. We know it's real. We know it creates measurable biological changes. We know it can heal diseases and create symptoms from nothing. But we don't know how. Your mind has the power to rewrite your body's biology with nothing but expectation. The mystery isn't whether the placebo effect is real. The mystery is how deep it goes, and what that means about the nature of consciousness, free will, and reality itself. If this blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe for more unexplained mysteries that challenge everything we think we know. Share this with someone who thinks mind over matter is just pseudoscience, and leave a comment. Have you ever experienced a placebo or nocebo effect? I want to hear your stories. Thanks for watching. Remember, the scariest mysteries aren't in space or the deep ocean. They're inside your own mind.